Hello and welcome to Okay, I Said Too Much podcast. Hey guys, and welcome back. Happy Valentine's Day. If you are listening to this on the day this drops, I have been patiently waiting for this episode. So if you think I said too much on the last one, just wait. Because this one, I literally just got done typing it up and it might be a doozy. But I think it's going to be a good one. I'm excited. As you all know, I've been doing the weekly updates, so let's just jump right into that. Guys, I'm going to say this, but take it with a grain of salt. It's me. Take it with a grain of salt if you know me personally. Don't take it too serious. But I've been trying to eat better lately, and I really am feeling the difference, I guess. I'm not 100% sure. I'm very lightly into doing this, okay? It's nothing crazy. I don't have a plan, So my biggest trick is I eat the same breakfast every single morning for the most part. And it's always some form of oatmeal with either banana or some type of fruit. Because it's super easy and I can make it when I get to work. So I can just get to work, make my breakfast. Super, super easy. I always do that. And then lunch is always leftovers from the dinner the night before. And then I just cook dinner again and just continue the cycle because that's the easiest way. Because I don't want to have to plan for a lunch too when I have to grocery shop. I feel like that's just so much work because I can barely plan dinners. I'm so bad at planning my meals in advance for grocery shopping. I just get to the grocery store and just throw things in there. This is my simple way of not having to figure out 5 days worth of lunches too. I do want to lose a few pounds before summer, but I don't want to become obsessive about it because that will just have me spiraling down a road I don't need to be down. I'm going to do a episode in the future about wellness culture and diet culture because I think it's all toxic. The stuff that is pushed us on social media about weight loss and wellness is so toxic, and I think listening to your body, which is intuitive eating, is probably the best way to go about it. I watch a dietitian, her name is Abby Sharp, and she has taught me so much about what makes a balanced meals. She even has videos on her YouTube channel showing you balanced meals that you can have throughout the day. She'll break down people's what I eat in the day and kind of tell you what's unhealthy and what's healthy about this, just because I feel sometimes we're pushed that content and then not push dietitians commenting on that content. So if you just need a healthier outlet but also want to learn about food and learn about nutrition, I think she has a wonderful YouTube channel. I think she's on TikTok too. I think it's all just Abby Sharp. I think she's definitely completely utterly changed the way I look at food and how I look at dieting. So I like her. I think she's helpful. My biggest thing always that I just try to do is keep a routine. What I just said was my routine. Keeping the same breakfast, which I heard. See, this is the thing. You always do this. You're I heard. But I heard a nutrition talk about this. So if a nutrition's saying it, they're probably right. But they're basically saying it's not good to eat the same foods over and over and over again. Your body needs to process different nutritional things. But oatmeal's just so easy for me to, because at my work, we have a whole kitchen area. We have an electric kettle. So it's so easy for me to just boil some water, make my oatmeal, cut up a fruit in it, or I'll cut up some fruit the night before and just go. So I don't think I'll ever switch that up. I switch up my dinners and stuff. I think I get a good different variety of nutritional values. But that's just my weekly update. I've been feeling good. I woke up this morning feeling really good about my body, which I have been working on for so long anyway. I'll cover this in a different episode. But I always say you can't hate your body out of something. You can't hate your way out of anything either. I think the most change happens when you just start to love yourself, love your body, be kind to your body, say nice things to your body and you. That's what I think is more beneficial than anything else. So that's my little weekly update for you guys. Again, happy Valentine's Day. This episode is all about what we can do with ourselves to better care and love the people around us. Pay attention to how I worded that, because I think that speaks volumes for how I feel about the subject. So yeah, let's hop right in to our trending topic this week. I want to start off by saying this isn't really a trending topic. It's just something I have noticed a lot on social media lately. I think we need to normalize. Oh my God. I don't even want to say that because I'm sick of hearing that too. I think we just need to take it back to the basics of being able to say, I don't like this, or this is what I'm doing with my life, and not trying to make some insane trend of it. I feel like I've already started saying so much in this episode. I'm so sorry. But the TikTok I saw was this girl saying, these are the things I no longer do because they're low vibrational. I was already rolling my eyes right there, because who's anyone to say what anything, like, who are you to say what is and isn't low vibrational? I don't know. So the two things in the video, and she had a couple different parts of this. Again, I also think that it's a scam. Like, they're just trying to get you to keep going to their profile and looking at TikToks, but that's a whole different thing. But the two in this video were over caffeinating and watching true crime. Those two things aren't necessarily low vibrational. If you don't like something and it doesn't make you feel good, that's okay to say. That's okay to be like, I don't like the way watching or listening to true crime makes me feel. I don't like the way drinking caffeine all day long makes me feel. And then, like, it's crazy because she was like, now I drink some like crazy coffee substitute, and it was just like, girl, just say you don't get along with caffeine. Like, I only drink 1 cup of coffee a day, like right when I wake up at 6. And I barely finish that because, I don't know, like once a cup of coffee gets cold, I don't really want it anymore anyway. I don't like the way drinking caffeine all day makes me feel. But I wouldn't call drinking caffeine all day low vibrational. If it works for someone, then it works for someone. I think sometimes putting like a pretty label on something, or like how everything is an era nowadays, like, oh, I'm in my soft girl era. You can just say you're not accepting any more bullshit. You can just say it. Like, I'm not accepting bullshit. Or I want to be a stay-at-home girlfriend. I want a man to take care of me. It doesn't have to be a soft girl era. Just say it. But I feel like sometimes people feel like if they put a pretty label on something, that they won't receive as much backlash. Because I can promise you this, if that girl would have came on that video and said, you need to stop watching true crime and you need to stop drinking caffeine all day because they're so bad for you, and there's like, all the comments would have been like, me watching this while I'm watching true crime, or me watching this while I'm drinking my Trenta iced coffee from Starbucks. All the comments would have been like that. But since she put this label of like low vibrational, and of course people nowadays don't want to be low vibrational, everyone was like, oh my God, you're so right. I feel so much better after I stopped watching true crime and da-da-da. It doesn't have to be all that. I know when I need to take a break from true crime. I know when I need to take a step back. Plus, not everything I watch is like murder and missing people. Like, and I would suggest if you watch true crime to do the same, like get into conspiracy theories. Or this one girl I watch, she breaks down like crazy things that happen, like reality TV, like get into stuff like that. Because sometimes I don't want to just constantly listen to content that's like, buy this, get ready with me, this is my vlog. Like, sometimes I would just want to listen to someone like talk about a subject. So the subject doesn't always have to be murder, mystery, missing people. You can find other topics to talk about that won't make you feel like true crime makes you feel, if that's something you struggle with. I don't even know where I was going with this. This is why this podcast is called I Said Too Much, because I've now rambled so much about that subject that I don't even know where I was going. What I was saying is I think if she just would have came on there and just was saying how she didn't like these things, she wouldn't have liked the reaction she got to it. But labeling it low vibrational was just more digestible to the normal person. No one wants to hear like, I don't like what you enjoy. No one wants to hear that, which I get it. As a content creator, you not wanting to subject yourself to those type of comments. But I don't think we don't need to put a shiny label on everything to make it more digestible for the masses. That is my stance on that. I said too much. Like I said too much. I will ramble all freaking day. And we got more ahead of us with this episode topic. So that is our trending topic for today. And let's get right into the episode. I wanted to save this episode for Valentine's Day because, one, I think it fits so well. I think discussing the things that make us better at loving the people around us, it's a perfect topic, especially, I'm single, so I don't have any, relationship type Valentine's Day stuff to tell you. So and I wouldn't say this episode is for the single girlies. This is for people in relationships too, or whatever you're going through, because I feel like these 3 things are the tools that you need to just be like a better person, be better to yourself. That's going to, in return, help you be a better partner, a better sister, mother, daughter, all the things. So that's why I wanted to break this down today. It just will help all of your relationships in your life blossom, work life, everything. Like, it just propels all of that forward. You do not need to be at the end of the finish line with any of these journeys. I'm just going to say that. You don't need to be at the end of the finish line with any of these things to get the things you want out of life. There is no one day you wake up and you're like, I'm healed, or I am perfect and I think the world of myself. You're never going to wake up and be SpongeBob when he was normal. Don't look at it that way. Don't feel, you're going to have good and bad days. So just take it, and I think it's all about finding the tools that help you. I think social media does this weird way of like pushing, like you can't love. The universe is going to keep your perfect person away from you if you haven't gotten to the end of the road, the end of the journey. You have yet to think the sun shines out of your ass, so the universe is keeping your soulmate from you. I think people are being a little dramatic when they say that. I think sometimes in some people's journey, it's finding that, whether it's a friend, a relationship, a job you love, a hobby you enjoy. I think some of that, finding those things in life and the universe bringing those things to your life, is what gets you closer to the finish line than you'll ever be. I don't think, I'll touch on this more with other, like as we go throughout the episodes, but like self-love is like the first thing we're talking about today. I don't think, what am I trying to say? I'm trying to say this in a digestible way because I know it's in my head. If someone is your soulmate and say you're struggling loving yourself and you're struggling giving yourself that type of thing, that soulmate could be sent to you to help you get there. So don't ever let someone sit up in your face and be like, you know, if you just loved yourself a little bit more, you got to love yourself. You got to do this with yourself. And then it's going to come to you. That might not be the story for you. That might not be the journey for you. There's all ups and downs. And I think it's more about the self-discovery. Y'all, take a shot every time I say the word self. And I think too, like you have to realize like one day you can wake up loving the crap out of yourself. Like, you're having a great day. And then the next day hate yourself and be down in the dumps and beat yourself up. And that's perfectly okay. I think acknowledging the days you don't feel on top of the world is the biggest part of the journey because it forces you to be gentle with yourself. And I don't think we do that enough sometimes. I think that is something we ignore a lot. We don't give ourselves grace enough, and we should, because that is probably one of the most important parts about self-love. It's just giving yourself grace, being able to be like, okay, I need to go to my gentle, happy place when I'm having a bad day or I'm not feeling the best about myself. I need to remove myself. What will pick me back up? What makes me feel good? If you don't know those things about yourself, you're never going to get to the place you want. Allowing yourself more grace on the bad days will do so much for you. And I think a big thing is self-love is not all appearances. It's not, did I do a face mask? Did I journal? Did I do that? It's, do I have a hobby I enjoy? Do I love my job? Is my home a safe place? I think that is something that we miss on the road to happiness, whatever that may look like for you. We miss that because I used to not agree with this, but now I do. Having a hobby that you can't monetize off of, I think we live in that like grind hustle culture where it's like, oh, you're good at this, you should sell this. Oh, you're good at this, you should create content and monetize this. And sometimes you just have to do it because you love it. Once you're monetizing off of something, it is now a job. So do you have a hobby where you can go and turn off your brain and step away from things and thinking? The mind's always moving. Do you have a hobby that stops that? Or when you wake up in the morning on Monday morning, are you upset because it's a Monday? Because, I mean, everyone can have a little Monday blues. That's okay. Or is it because you hate your job that you go to every day? I hated my job. I so badly wanted to be in this great place mentally and physically and look a certain way. And yeah, did I look great? But I didn't see it. It wasn't processing because I was in a cycle that I hated. Now, I had this moment the other day. So I was in my car. I had to pick up catering for work. It was a beautiful day outside. It's been so beautiful. I'm not going to talk about global warming, but it has been beautiful outside. And I'm sitting in my car, my window's cracked, and I'm sitting in traffic. Like, I am in traffic. And so just was like letting the sun hit my face and just like listen to the music. This is also another thing. You need to take in moments like this and realize, like, when people say like you have to step into your manifestations and realize you're in them, And I kind of had one of those moments like I'm in my manifestation because I used to hate my job and I used to manifest and pray and wish for a job I love. I am stuck in traffic trying to get back in time to pick up this catering, to put this event together for work. And I'm not stressed. I'm not worried. I'm happy. I'm letting the vitamin D soak up through my skin. Like I'm having the time of my life. Like I'm so happy. If that would have been a year ago or 2 years ago, I would have been going fucking berserk and going bananas because I would have had 800 million things to do and I'm stuck in traffic and I need to get back to my office because the freaking property is going to catch on fire if I don't. So I think sometimes in our self-love journey, I'm doing air quotes because what is it even really, you know? We miss out on like those type of things. Like, do we enjoy what we do day to day? Is our home a safe place for us to come to? My bedroom is my sanctuary. Like every night I kind of have a routine. Well, I try really hard to keep this routine. Some nights are you know, where I go to YouTube and I find like, so you can do like frequencies or lo-fi stress, like free music. Like you can type in like music to help with anxiety. And I always pick a live because lives don't play with ads on YouTube. You can be like frequencies to remove negative energy and find it in live. So again, you don't have to deal with ads. And then I play that low in the background and read a book on my Kindle because that is how I turn my head off for a second. That is my hobby that kind of separates myself. And that is creating a little slice of heaven in what might be a very hectic day. And I think you can't preach self-love if you don't have that. If you don't have a way to step away from the day and truly appreciate the moment with yourself, that's a part you need to pick. And I feel like sometimes too, like you get in this rut of like, oh, I need to be doing this. I need to be doing that. Just shut it off. Shut it off. Go to your happy place. It will create wonders for you day to day. I'm such a better person now because I do that. Like, it makes me a better person. And then my last point with self-love, and probably the biggest one of all, and it's not talked about enough, and social media kind of portrays the opposite. Self-love does not equal happiness. You will not self-love your way to the golden ticket, but it is super important on getting there. I think you can't have discipline without self-love. Like, you can't discipline yourself without the base being love, because I struggled so long with discipline. Like, I used to be like, oh, I need the motivation. Motivation is so temporary, but discipline is like what gets you to do it. And I think like weight is always the easiest thing to refer this back to. Say like I had a health problem, I had a health issue, and I had to find the discipline to eat a super clean diet and work out every single day. Do you really think I could do that if I hated myself? No, because I'm going to get mad. I'm going to get angry and be like, let me go get a Crunchwrap Supreme, no tomatoes from Taco Bell, okay? You have to find that light within to fuel everything else. If I hated myself, I would be like, girl, you are not interesting and you are not funny. Why are you starting a podcast? But I think I'm interesting and funny, so I started a podcast. So I think that's like the way I would best describe how to find that happiness. And I'm using quotations that everyone is looking for, and knowing you're worthy of it. And that brings me right into self-love. Another great thing that they throw at you after breakup is, well, if you knew your self-worth, you have to know your self-worth. You have to know you're worth more than that. You're worthy. I'm going to punch you in the face, okay, if you say that to me. If you really think about it, like, I'm gonna say I do not 100% agree with that. I think way more goes into play. It does play a part, but there's so much more to it. I think the part that people struggle the most with when it comes to self-worth is trusting yourself. They go hand in hand. If you do not trust yourself to make a good decision, it's probably because you feel like you're not worth what's on the other side of that good decision. I had to put a lot of trust in myself to start this podcast. So that means I have to deem myself worthy of what could come from the podcast. I had to look in the mirror and be like, you're worth the 10,000 downloads. You're worth the brand deals. You're worth this. You're worth that. Trust in yourself. Take the leap of faith. Like, you are worth all of those things. You deserve all of those things. So I feel like you have to learn to trust your gut and your intuition, and that your gut and your intuition is honestly more than anything what's going to keep you out of a shitty situation, because they're going to tell you first. So learning that true inner trust and learning, honestly, it's crazy to think, and I feel like I'm hoping I do a good job of explaining this because I don't feel like everyone's going to get this on the level I see it on. But it's like, am I worth trusting myself? Am I worth the trust? Because sometimes not seeing that, sometimes people can be that low where they don't even think they're worthy of other people's trust, you know? Like, even like, let's bring it back that way. So you have to start there to get all the other things you want out of it. Self-worth also means letting go of the anger and accepting your role in unhappiness. Anger is allowing someone to drag you down, but you have to know that you're worth more than that. You have to know that. You have to stand 10 toes down and be like, no, I'm not worth I'm worth too much to be down in the pits with you. Okay, you're not going to drag me down. Like, you aren't going to attract those type of people when you see that worth in yourself. Because I'm telling you, once you get it, you're going to radiate. I don't accept no BS. Take that BS somewhere else, because I don't accept. And you're going to radiate that. And you're going to get to a point too where you're like, damn, I ain't talking to nobody. It's because they know they can't BS you. They know you're going to see straight through it. You're going to trust your gut and your intuition and know that they're playing the fuck out of you. And you're going to walk the other way. Like, I personally think knowing that you're worth a whole hell of a lot is gonna do you better than loving yourself. Like, in my personal opinion, I mean, I think you should work on both 100%, but I think that is going to get you more places. So I think it all boils down to one thing, though, and this is my biggest thing, is, are you lacking self-awareness? I think this one is bigger than all of them, truly. I don't think most people would agree with me, but I feel like self-awareness is what's going to allow you to heal and move on from whatever you have gone through. I didn't really move on until I could look at myself and say, you are the problem too. My ego would always be like, this person, they did this to me. But that doesn't really get you anywhere. Like, you can love yourself and think you're worthy of fucking the greatest thing in the world. But if you think that it is the world against you, you'll never have those things. They'll never come to you. Being able to look in the mirror and be like, Deidre, you're being kind of shitty. You're not handling the situation the best, and you can break it down from there. That's how you get things. That's how you move on. That's how you heal, for lack of a better word. Like, being able to be like, you're an enabler, you're the villain in this person's story. It cleared up so much for me. I can let someone's emotions, wants, and needs overtake my own, and I had to wake up from that. Like, I had to be aware that I'm like letting this person just have 100% of me. And I think we're always taught, like, give someone 100%. But what do you have left of you if you're constantly giving the wrong person 100% and you're giving them everything? Are you aware that you're giving that person too much and that you're drowning in it? That's why I feel like self-awareness keeps you out of shitty situations. I think, personally, being painfully self-aware, when you see those long-term relationships break up, that's because one person, or, other circumstances, one person looked in the mirror one day and was like, they just had a wake-up call. They had a painful wake-up call, because being self-aware is not easy, but they had a wake-up call and they were like, wow, I'm drowning in this other person. I have lost myself in this other person. I had to do that too. And I had to realize through self-worth and self-love that I don't need to drown in another person. I don't need to wash away the qualities of myself to be with another person. And that's why it's the trifecta, okay? It forces you to really fix things. When you work on that self-awareness, like, I listened to a podcast with Cameron Crawford. She had a guest on, and I wish right now I could get their name, like, remember their name. And he's like, he divorced his husband of like years. She was like, well, what was wrong? Like, what was wrong with the relationship? And he was like, I was a terrible husband. She was like, what? She was shocked by the answer. And he was like, I was a terrible husband. And she was like, no. And she was like, he said, yes. Like, you don't have to sympathize with that. I'm self-aware enough to say I was a terrible husband, and I let things go on for far too long, and I accepted things that I didn't want, and I lost myself in this, and that's okay. But I need to realize those things to get to the point I'm at now. And that's why I think self-awareness is what's more beautiful than everything else, is because not a lot of people have that. Not a lot of people can pinpoint and say, I was wrong. If I could talk to my ex now We don't talk. We're not in contact. If I would say I was wrong. It was me. I'm self-aware enough to know that I didn't love myself enough to let him go because he needed something way more serious than I could give him at that time. Serious help, but that's a conversation for another day. It was getting heavy, so I had to break it up with a joke. That is my spiel for the day. And I know this was like one of those things where I'm rambling. I can tell when I'm just like trying to connect the dots in my head before I speak them out. And it's not working. And that's kind of what I was doing with this one. I had it written down, but like this is the topic that it gets me riled up inside. Because I want every woman out there to feel the joy and love I feel within myself, the warmth that it is within myself, the happiness. I want people to get there. Yes, I'm not 100%. Yes, I'm not going to say that I don't have my bad days, but I want women to feel that. I want women to not to feel small. Actually, honestly, everyone, because I don't want men, they, them, anyone to feel like this. I don't want you to feel small. And I feel like when you have all of these three things, there's no way to feel small because you know how you are as a person. You know yourself so well that no one can make you feel small. No one can break you down to that level. And when you, like, I don't want to say ego, but it's just like, who gonna check me, boo? Who gonna check me? Because I'm self-aware to tell you enough to tell you what's my flaws. I know I'm worthy enough to still have all the love in the world, all the happiness, even though I have those flaws and I love them. Who's gonna check me? Who? Come on. And I think, too, if you're in a relationship, knowing all that helps you not lose that identity. And I feel like that's what a lot of people struggle with. It doesn't mean that your relationship's bad or broken, but you lose me. And it could be because you are giving 100% of yourself, and you need to realize that people always say, like, no, I want someone to give 100 and I give 100. Honestly, it's 50-50 because you still have to have you. You still have to have things that make you you. You still have to take time to nurture you. If you're giving 100 to someone else, when do you have time for you? I think really working on these things is so beneficial to people who are spending this holiday alone or people who are spending this holiday with their loved one, because it just makes you a better person. It makes you love better. It makes you care more. Like I was never really like sappy and emotional, but like now I am. Like now, because I'm a whole person, like I have worked so much on making me whole. It's like, oh, I just have so much love to give. And I just love the people around me. I love my family. I love so much harder now. And I think that's beautiful. It's so beautiful. There's just really no other words for it. And then I want to stress again, like, it's never going to be perfect. There will always be good days and bad days. Sometimes I still wake up and I'm like, my face is not a face. Or I still wake up and think like something's wrong with me because I haven't had a successful relationship. Like, I still do struggle with that, but I know how to pick myself back up. I know how to get myself out of those lows and those lows to get back to my shit don't stink, okay? But I'm also self-aware to know that it may do. It might stink a little bit. My piece of advice, and if you know me, you know what I'm going to say. Journal. It really does fix everything, guys. Don't keep those emotions bottled up within you, especially if you feel like sometimes I feel like my emotions, which you probably know in this podcast, it's not from 1, 2, 3, like point A to B. It'd be like A, Z, D, F, P, L, O. Like, that's how my thoughts work and process. So if you don't want to always have to try to explain that to someone, journal, and then you can start building on top of that. But I hope this episode helped you put a smile on your face and all the lovely things. And I will say, I've never said this, but my DMs are always open. If you like what I have to say and you have a question or you want to talk more about it, my DMs are always open, okay? You can message me. I like to think I give good advice, but I'm also a Sagittarius, so it's like I never think I'm wrong. So that might be it too. But my DMs are open, guys. You can't see me, but I'm winking. Not like that. But message me if you want to talk more. Y'all, I know for a fact I have rambled and just ranted on this episode. So I'm going to keep Song of the Week short and sweet. So this is actually a new one, and I don't even know this artist. I've never Well, the featuring artist, I do know I have a little bit of music by him, but this guy, I've never heard of him before. And I don't know, might have been TikTok that introduced me to this song. I don't know. It is White Crocs by Jordan Ward and Ryan Trey. Ryan Trey, I know a little bit of his music I have listened to before. Jordan Ward, I'm so sorry, sir. I don't know who you are. This song's fire, though. Like, it's just a good, feel good, like, song. Like I said, I want to keep Song of the Week really short, and it's new. This is actually Song of the Week that is new. I think it actually did come out, like, either last week or this week, and he has a new album coming out. So if you are on, like, Apple Music, it'll show, like, the other songs in the album, but you can't download them yet. So his album's about to drop soon. So I am really excited to hear more from him because, like I said, I don't know. And a lot of the songs, when you search on my Apple Music, were, like, him featuring someone. So I'm excited to kind of get to know just him as an artist with his new album. Please go check out the song. This sounds sponsored, but it's not. One day. I think I might just be getting a little delusional. I need to go to bed. It's 10:05. But yeah, that is our Song of the Week. And I'm not going to say what you all think I'm going to say, but we're all thinking it. First, I want to say that I'm going to try really hard to edit this episode really well so it's cohesive and it makes sense because I know I was rambling. But if you are listening to this on Valentine's Day, again, happy Valentine's Day. I usually say grab a shot, but you know what? Let's keep it classy. Grab a glass of wine. Grab a glass of wine. Stay safe, and I love you guys. Please do not forget to like, download, play on a super low volume multiple times. Review 5 stars only. Please and thank you. I love you guys. Be happy, be safe, and until next week. And I will see you again on Okay, I said too much.